Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think about this. What if the next 20 minutes could shape the next 20 years of your life? Too often, we underestimate the power of a decision, the weight of a commitment, or the value of a single moment. But history is filled with stories of men and women who turned their entire lives around in less than half an hour. Because in that short time, they made a choice. See, it doesn't take 20 years to change your life. It takes a decision, a vision, and relentless action. The next 20 minutes can be the seed of a future so big, so bold, so extraordinary, that it shakes the limits of your imagination. Right here, right now. You have a choice. You can use these minutes to scroll, to complain, to waste them. Or you can use them to declare who you will be, where you will go, and how you will live. The clock is ticking, but it's not your enemy. It's your partner. Because if you respect these 20 minutes, you'll look back 20 years from now and say, that was the moment my life turned. So write it down, speak it out, visualize it, take the first step, because the next 20 minutes are the most important of your life. Your future is not waiting. It's begging you to claim it. Life is not always changed by years of effort. It can be changed by a single defining moment. A conversation, a decision, a realization, or even a setback can redirect the entire course of your life. Think about it. There are moments in your past that you can look back on right now. Moments that shifted everything. Maybe it was meeting someone who believed in you when no one else did. Maybe it was saying yes to an opportunity or no to something destructive. That one moment didn't just pass. It planted a seed that grew into the life you're living today. Paragraph 2: moments carry power because they are concentrated with possibility. The next 20 minutes might look ordinary, but hidden inside them is the potential to birth the extraordinary. The decision you make right now about your health, your relationships, your career, your faith, your finances, it can ripple forward for decades. That's why you must treat every significant moment with respect. You never know when the moment you're in is the moment that will define you. Paragraph 3. Most people don't lose decades at once. They lose them one distracted moment at a time. They waste minutes scrolling, doubting, procrastinating until one day they look back and wonder where the years went. But the opposite is also true. People build extraordinary decades one powerful moment at a time. Every breakthrough, every achievement, every success story you've ever admired started with a single decision made in a single moment. Paragraph 4. Think of an athlete who decides to train when no one is watching, a student who decides to study one more hour, an entrepreneur who chooses to start even when they're afraid. Those moments are invisible to the world, but they are visible to the future. Years later, we celebrate their championships, their degrees, their empires. But it all started in a moment just like this one. A moment when they said, I will not waste this. I will not let this pass. I will own this moment. Paragraph 5. Your life is a collection of moments. And right now, you are holding one of the most powerful moments you will ever have. The choice to decide who you will be for the next 20 years. If you ignore it, it slips into the past like every other wasted minute. But if you embrace it, it becomes a cornerstone, a turning point, a story you'll tell for the rest of your life. That was the moment I claimed my future. Your life today is the sum total of the choices you've made. Where you live, what you do, the people around you, these are the results of decisions you once made, big or small. And the beautiful truth is this: if choices got you here, choices can take you somewhere else. You don't have to be trapped by your past, your circumstances, or what others expect of you. Every new choice you make has the power to redirect your future. Paragraph: choice is the great equalizer. Not everyone is born with wealth, privilege, or connections. Not everyone has the same opportunities at the start, but everyone has the ability to choose. You can choose to get back up after failure. You can choose to study when others are sleeping. You can choose to discipline yourself instead of giving in to comfort. The world may try to stack the odds against you, but no one, not poverty, not criticism, not even fear, can take away your power to choose. Paragraph 3. What holds many people back is not a lack of ability, but a lack of decision. They wait for the right moment, the perfect conditions, or a guarantee that they won't fail. But waiting is a choice too. Indecision is still a decision. It's the decision to do nothing. And doing nothing is the fastest way to stay stuck. When you recognize that, you'll stop waiting for life to change and start using the choices you already have in your hands. Paragraph 4. Every great achievement begins with a choice. A choice to commit, a choice to act, a choice to keep going when it gets hard. Behind every invention, every business empire, every transformation story you admire, there was someone who simply decided, enough is enough. I choose to change. They weren't smarter than everyone else. They weren't luckier. They just made a choice and refused to back away from it. Paragraph 5. That's the incredible force of choice. It doesn't just shape your actions, it shapes your identity. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, growth over comfort, courage over fear, you're building the person you want to become. And over time, those choices harden into character, and that character drives destiny. Your choices today are silently writing the story of who you'll be 20 years from now. Time is the most valuable asset you will ever have, and yet it's the one most often taken for granted. Money lost can be earned back. Opportunities missed can return in another form. But time, once it's gone forever. That's why understanding the leverage of time is so critical. How you use 20 minutes today can compound into 20 years of progress or 20 years of regret. The clock isn't your enemy, it's your tool. And when you learn to leverage it, you separate yourself from the average. Paragraph 2. Think about it. 20 minutes doesn't look like much. It's just a fraction of your day. But stacked day after day, that 20 minutes turns into hours. Those hours turn into weeks, and those weeks turn into years. If you devote 20 minutes daily to reading, in a decade you could outread and outlearn most of the population. If you commit 20 minutes to exercising, you could transform your health and vitality over a lifetime. Time magnifies what you feed it. Small, consistent investments grow into massive returns. Paragraph 3. The tragedy is that most people waste their leverage. They spend more time complaining than creating, more time scrolling than strategizing, more time entertaining themselves than educating themselves. They don't see that every wasted minute is a missed opportunity for leverage. If you can waste 20 minutes without a thought, you can waste 20 years without realizing it. The habits of your minutes will always write the story of your decades. Paragraph 4. Leverage means you don't need giant blocks of time to change your life. You don't have to quit your job today, move across the world, or wait until everything is perfect. All you need is to start with the minutes you already have. That 20 minutes you spend each day on growth will pull your future closer. Time is like a lever. The more wisely you use it, the greater the weight of achievement you can move with what looks like very little effort. Paragraph 5. Look at anyone who has built something extraordinary. Athletes, leaders, innovators. They didn't find extra time. They leveraged the same 24 hours given to all of us. The difference was in how they valued their minutes. They treated time like a currency that could purchase their dreams. And because they made those small, leveraged deposits daily, they now live in the compounded results that time produced. Every dream, every goal, every transformation begins as a seed. A seed looks small, fragile, and insignificant at first. When you hold it in your hand, it doesn't look like much. But hidden inside that seed is potential so powerful, it can create forests, feed nations, or shade generations. The same is true with your ideas, your vision, and your decisions. They may look small right now, but inside them is the power to change your entire life. Paragraph 2, the problem is most people never plant the seed. They carry it around, they talk about it, they show it to others, but they never put it in the ground. And a seed that's never planted will never grow. That's why your 20 minutes today matters. It's the planting ground for the next 20 years. Writing one page, making one call, taking one step. Those actions may feel tiny now, but they are seeds that can produce harvests you can't even imagine. Paragraph 3, seeds demand patience. You can't plant today and expect a tree tomorrow. Growth is invisible before it is visible. Roots form before fruits appear. Too many people give up because they don't see instant results. They don't realize that while nothing seems to be happening on the surface, the seed is breaking, expanding, and preparing for breakthrough underground. If you stay consistent, what you planted will eventually show. Paragraph 4. And here's the truth: the harvest is always greater than the seed. One seed of corn doesn't produce one kernel. It produces a stalk with hundreds of kernels. One apple seed doesn't give you one apple. It gives you an orchard over time. That's the power of sowing. Your small efforts today may look insignificant, but when multiplied by time and persistence, they will overflow into results far bigger than what you started with. Paragraph 5, but seeds only respond to care. They need soil, sunlight, water, and protection from weeds. Your dreams are the same. You have to nurture them with discipline, feed them with knowledge, protect them from negativity, and give them the space to grow. Every choice you make is either feeding your seed or starving it. The question is, are you cultivating your future, or are you neglecting it? Most people live their lives on autopilot. They wake up, go through the motions, repeat yesterday's actions, and call it living. But there's a difference between existing and living with intention. Habit is doing something because you've always done it. Intentionality is doing something because you've decided it matters. One will keep you stuck in the cycle of the familiar. The other will open doors to growth and transformation. Paragraph 2, habits are powerful, but they are blind. A habit doesn't care whether it's building you or breaking you. Brushing your teeth every morning is a habit that protects your health. Scrolling mindlessly for hours is a habit that steals your time. That's why intentionality is so important. It's the steering wheel that gives direction to the power of habit. Without it, you might be running fast, but you're running in circles. Paragraph 3, intentionality is about asking yourself, why am I doing this? What is the purpose behind my actions? If the answer doesn't align with your vision for the next 20 years, it's time to adjust. 20 minutes used with intention can outweigh hours spent by habit. Reading with intention, working with intention, even resting with intention. These are the things that give meaning and direction to your time. Paragraph 4, think of the difference between drifting and sailing. A boat that drifts goes wherever the wind pushes it, often ending up lost or wrecked. A boat that sails uses the same wind, but with intention. It sets its direction, raises its sails, and steers toward a chosen destination. Your habits are the wind, intentionality is the sail. Without it, life will carry you somewhere, but not necessarily where you want to go. Paragraph 5, when you live with intentionality, every moment becomes an investment. You stop wasting energy on what doesn't serve you and start channeling it into what builds you. You begin to replace unconscious routines with purposeful rituals. Instead of reacting to life, you start designing it. The next 20 minutes, when lived with intention, have the power to realign the next 20 years of your life.